Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Action Figure Showcase, we have part 2 of my favorite tag team figures. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today is another part of my favorite tag team figures I have in my collection. And a lot of these I had to pick and choose between specific versions. Like, we've got a ton of Usos figures. A lot of them in just the jogger look. We've got these red ones, we've got the Ultimate Editions. We've got top picks, like different singles releases. But for me today, I'm all about the matching attires, matching looks. You want to look at them and know that they're a tag team. And I wanted to start off with these. I really like these versions of the Usos. The torsos that they have on them are the Daniel Bryan torsos, which is kind of weird. But like, I have the shirts on them, so it's really not something I think about. My issue with the Ultimate Edition is just the drop down hips. I don't like the drop down hips, and these have pretty much the same parts besides the torsos. Double jointed arms, true effects on the head sculpts. They've got the t-shirts, and then they've got the same leg mold as the Ultimate Edition, including the shoes. So they've got that toe articulation, which I really don't maneuver these a lot, and like pose and just move them a lot, just because those ankles get loose easily. So I ended up just going with this pair. I really like how these look together. Obviously, we've got the other matching Bloodline figures in the same red attire, but everything about these, I was ecstatic to pick these up. I got them in one of the Walmart shippers when they did the first Monday Night Wars release. These guys, I found a fresh shipper. I picked both of these up, and I never saw them again at retail. The Uso figures tend to fly, especially with some rad red attires like these. And I was lucky enough to grab them both. So starting off today, Jimmy and Jay. All right, next up we have the Revival, and these were their NXT Elite line from Target. These were the exclusive there, and these were the only elites we ever got of these guys while they were in WWE, and I do not like their AEW figures. I was excited for them. I liked how they looked proportionally. Like, I wanted them to have bigger legs. That was my only issue with these figures. I wish their legs were a little bulkier, but everything else I like way more than the AEW figures. So I wasn't gonna leave them out of this, because I think they look really good. The head sculpts for these are really nice. I don't remember if they came with the tag belts. I was able to pick these up loose not too long ago, because I missed them the first time. I passed on them the first time around, thinking I'd wait until we got better versions of them, and then that never happened. So I like the boots. I like the attire. I think these look really nice. So that's the end of it. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, it was hard for me to pick these up, so maybe that's why I've got a little more invested into these, because it was hard to track them down for a decent price. But I think these are pretty cool looking figures. Speaking of AEW, we have the Young Bucks here, and there were a few different versions, including customs of my own, that I considered going with, but these are my favorites. I did swap around torsos and head sculpts on these. The one on the mat is actually the head sculpt that came on that first version, but I got the 1A set that had the washed out skin tones, so it was super pale. And then I think I picked up the 1B to replace the torsos on these. I don't remember exactly. And that's the correct mat head. And then this Nick head was from the second set of them we got that was in the blue, white, and gold, which are probably my second favorite versions of the Young Bucks. I really like the cloth goods with this. Really, these set my expectations really high for Jazzwares, because I thought these figures were awesome. They scaled well. Like, these ones specifically scale well with Mattel's figures. And then after that, like the next version we got, those still scaled pretty decent. And then the Bucks figures got way too tall, like just too large. A lot of things, like small things they left off, like elbow pads, wrist tape, stuff like that, and it's just seemingly gone downhill since. But the cloth good jackets, the leg mold for these, and then being able to swap these different head sculpts on there, I think these are the best versions of the Bucks, which is a little bit unfortunate because it is the first version we got, and it's not like a traditional look for them. It's the Elvis pants, and that's even in like their EVP era where they're wearing goofier looking clothes. They still don't really wear pants like this. They're like jogger kind of pants that we've gotten releases of. I think those look good, but they're still too big for me, so that's why I decided to include these Bucks in here today. Next up might be kind of a deep cut for some people, but I grabbed the Elite Akam and Razar Authors of Pain figures. I do have the Build-A-Figure Paul Ellering. I've got 2 of the Paul Ellerings to go with Legion of Doom as well, but I thought these were really good figures. I think they're a bit like their proportions are a little bit odd. I think the torso could have just been, I think it's the Braun Strowman torso, and it could have just been done a little bit differently. Like their waist, and then just the way their arms kind of stick out and you can't really put them down to the side. I thought like it's a little funny there, but I was surprised with these. I thought, I don't know what I thought we were going to get when they announced these Elites, but I liked the leg mold and like the molded knee pads. Like these were just made for them. I thought the vest looked good. They did come with their like entrance helmets, which I have somewhere in a bin. I just couldn't find them. But I thought these looked really good. They've got the true effects and everything. And it was the Braun Strowman. I think I was worried they were just going to be like straight Braun Strowman figures. And these also were a big upgrade. We'd gotten basics of them, I'm pretty sure, and these were a significant upgrade. So I've always had a soft spot. I really like these figures. It's just like the Authors of Pain never did anything on the main roster, and even now they came back and still do nothing. So just not prominent enough for me to like really pound the table and let everyone know how awesome these figures are, but absolutely worth making the cut on my favorite tag team figures. Next up, we have my custom Johnny Nitro and Joey Mercury M&M, and I do have a Melina somewhere, and now that I think about it, I don't know where it went. I grabbed these off the shelf and she was not next to them, so she is somewhere in the probably in a bin somewhere. But these guys were a couple of customs I made, and I had a lot of fun. I really wanted to make these guys for quite a while. I actually used like Ricky Steamboat thighs, I think, for the Mercury with the Johnny Nitro lowers, and then with Johnny Nitro I wanted to use pants that were molded in white, so I used a Legends Edge with his lower legs to make sure I was getting the height correct with them. But Jack's heads for the both of them, I can't remember where the arms and everything came from for these guys. Maybe like Dolph Ziggler for Mercury with some of his basic arms, and then Daniel Bryan torso, I think, with some Carl Anderson arms for Joey Mercury. Did I get the name? Did I mess up? I don't know. Moving on. I had a lot of fun with these. I hated these guys during the Ruthless Aggression era. I just thought they were such like total tools, which is kind of what they were. Like that was the whole point of them. They were egotistical, and I thought they were great heels, but I despised them. So had to add them in the collection, especially Ruthless Aggression era. But there they are, M&M. Moving on. Next up, we do have another set of Usos, and these I want to say are like Elite 31, something like that. I think these are great looking figures. They originally came with a plastic or one of the rubber t-shirts, and it's black, and I got both of these shirts from Threadhead Custom Clothing a long time ago now, and I just wanted to get them because I thought they made the figures pop a little more than just the black, and even the design on those shirts was pretty bare. I do not know which Uso is which. I know if I look at the tattoos, I can tell. So maybe this one is Jay and this one is Jimmy. I know one of you told me that you can tell them apart because one of them is always sticking their tongue out on their head sculpts, and I don't remember which one was which. So thanks for that tip. I'll have to go back and find it so I can get that right. But that was one of my issues before we started getting the Bloodline Usos is that I never knew which Uso was which once I took them out of the box. So, especially with these ones, like their head sculpts, I think the likeness is fine for them. I don't think it resembles them as well as their newer ones do. The mold that they use for these guys, I thought was spot on, and there are a couple like I wish we would have gotten more elites of them in this look. We got a lot of basics, and actually off the top of my head, these might be the only like Surfer Uso elites, but I absolutely had to include these. I love the way they look on the shelf with all like the bright green and pink and orange and everything. These would be awesome to get re-released in the greatest hits line. I would love to see these updated with true effects. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I talk all the time about how I really like true effects and the like how it does facial hair, and I think it would do the fade on their head sculpts and their facial hair a lot of justice if we got re-releases and we get double jointed arms and everything, and then we just get this mold back out into circulation. But there we have it, Elite 31 Usos. Next up, we have one normal Elite release and then one very small custom, but we've got the Dirty Dogs, which as a tag team, I didn't really care about. I think they might have actually held the belts at one point, and then while they held the belts, Dolph Ziggler won the NXT Championship, which is just, all of that is really weird to say. This Dolph Ziggler is from the SummerSlam Elite wave that had the... I don't remember which Build-A-Figure it was. Trying to look at my shelf. Yep, I don't remember. Do not remember who the Build-A-Figure was. Hulk Hogan was also in the set, and now I can't think of the other two figures. Nonetheless, actually, I think there might have been an Uso in there. I don't remember. I remember struggling to find that whole set. Anyway, this Dolph Ziggler I really, really like. I like the legs they used for him, torso, everything. I thought that like proportionally it looked really good. Obviously, he's got the double jointed arms on this one. Really, most of Dolph Ziggler's figures, I think they do a good job. Really like that head sculpt. And then the Bobby Roode was... it was a Dolph Ziggler actually that I acetoned the design off the tights. I printed those decals off. It's just the front and the back one. I swapped the boots to put some plain black boots instead of his like the Dolph Ziggler boots. And then the torso, I can't remember who I took. It was like the Hogan torso. And then the head sculpt was actually from a basic that might have had that Dirty Dogs attire. I don't remember exactly now, but I think that Bobby Roode head sculpt is really, really nice. And then just the pink together I think looks great. So had to throw them in here. Next up, we have my Bullet Club, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, and these are their New Japan looks. So I think Carl Anderson might have worn tights like this a couple times in WWE, but he normally wore his long tights, so I have those with my AJ Styles. And the Luke Gallows, so this is a Luke Gallows Elite. I think I might have changed the torso. No, it's the same torso and everything. I just repainted it because we did get this look of him when he was in the Straight Edge Society. So I really wanted to do this shorts look for his time in New Japan as well. So I want to do one with face paint. All these decals are from Curb Stomp. The Carl Anderson, I don't remember what parts I used. Maybe like some Finn Balor legs, some lower legs from a Stone Cold, or a Ringmaster Stone Cold, and then a Stone Cold torso. And then the head and arms are from a battle pack we got with these guys. And then the Luke Gallows head, like all of this. Oh, I did swap arms. I did have to put the arms with all the tattoos on there because he doesn't have that on that Straight Edge Society. But I really wanted New Japan versions of these guys, and I am almost done with my Bullet Club collection. I need to make a Bad Luck Fale, and then I'll do like my showcase with all of them. But anyway, here these guys are in their New Japan iterations. Moving on. Next up, we have a couple of my personal favorites. We have Kai and Tai. We got Takamichi Noku and Funaki. And these guys, I always thought were really funny in the Attitude Era. The Taka Michinoku head sculpt is actually, I think it's from Tom Veg, but I got it in a lot, or maybe it's from Head Gimmicks. I'm not sure which one. I got it in a lot off of eBay, and then it was already painted up and everything, so I just popped it on. I thought, because I had just the old Jack's Bone Cruncher head sculpt on there, and it, like, the likeness is not great. It looks very cartoony. So I have this one on there, and then we've just got a Jack's head from Funaki. Both of these shirts, again, are from Threadhead. The belt on Taka Michinoku is the awesome red-looking light heavyweight belt that I got from Chaos Wrestling Club. It looks fantastic. These two, like I said, are a couple of my favorites in the collection, just because there's so much to them. Just the formulas are a little bit different for them than just like a normal, like, tight, long tights or short tights, whatever. I think I used Dean Malenko calves and AJ Styles legs for Taka Michinoku, and then I just used the Santino for Funaki, and I thought they came together well, because it's just blue and white paint and a simple formula. But I had to throw Kai and Tai in here. We've got one more tag team to get to before we are out. Alrighty, so to finish up today, we have the Elite Legion of Doom, and I think this was Elite 30. This was very early when I started collecting Mattel, so I think the first elites I got were loose off eBay, and then the first one in store I bought was Elite, I think it was 22 Rock, and then I picked up some here and there. So I picked up like the Billy Gunn and Road Dogg elites in like 26 and 27, the Elite Rikishi in Elite 27, and then I got these, and I was not like in the know. I didn't really know, like, I didn't know about the wrestling fig forums. I never really shopped on Ringside Collectibles when I was collecting Jack's figures, so I really didn't know like what figures we were getting at that point. And I stumbled across both of these at Kmart at the time, and my first thought was, these are too expensive, I'm not gonna pick these up, and now look at me. But I did end up picking them up, like both of them, and I think they look awesome. I had Jack's versions of these, but they didn't match. I had the AWA Hawk, and then the animal that I had was actually the LOD 2000 look, so they didn't go together at all, and that was all I was ever able to get my hands on for the Legion of Doom. So these guys, to have the like classic black and red, like, I love the boots. I don't know, like, things aren't in good standing with them, so I don't think we're gonna get re-releases of these. Obviously, this is very high on a lot of people's lists, and just a lot of different versions too. But the shoulder pads, the forearm guards, just everything about these was awesome. Awesome when I picked them up, awesome now. I'm glad I have these in my collection. I missed out on Demolition because I wasn't collecting then, but I was able to grab these, and I know these are also high on a lot of people's lists, so they without a doubt was going to include them here. But I am gonna this time, instead of trying to fit everyone on the screen at the same time, we're gonna just throw up some pictures. You can see all of them as we wrap things up here. So if you did make it all the way to the end of the video, I appreciate it. I do have a couple more. I think I'm gonna do a couple more parts to the tag teams in my collection, because like I said in the first one, I had a ton of tag teams that I kind of forgot about, and I'm not even gonna get to all of them. That would take a really long time. Maybe if we get to a point in the channel where we're running low on things to talk about, we'll circle back around and get everyone. But until then, thanks for the support, thanks for watching. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude